Hello, good evening, and welcome back. So, gender recognition certificate cost cut to £5. Yep, just a fiver, just the old fiver. So, you got a question. Why? Surely. So, right, first thing. So, this was started in 2018 with a little consultation, yes, by a so-called conservative government. So, this doesn't matter. It really doesn't. For anybody who is transsexual, it really doesn't matter. And is transsexual really a sexuality? No, but let's all use old words from Greek and Latin to pretend that we're special. But no, it really doesn't matter. Why the fuck do you care what the government thinks about you? And we're seeing that more and more when it comes to marriage. Seeing as most of the religious aspect of marriage has been thrown out, marriage rates are decreasing as well. That the marriage is no longer to be unified or united in the eyes of God as it used to be. It is instead just, well, how about have this business agreement between two parties, and therefore fewer people are deciding to go along with it. If you have an agreement with yourself and somebody else, you don't need to bring the government into this. So as bad as it is that Britain is losing its Christianity, the small positive that you can glean from it is people are realising that the government isn't actually required when it comes to how they go about their own personal lives. And the same goes here. So, why do you need a certification, to say you're a different gender? You don't. You really don't. If this is something that is important to you, then you'll get it done, and it'll be for you, and therefore you won't really care who knows it and who doesn't. By any means, you'll tell people, and if questioned, then of course you'll answer those questions, but you don't really need a certificate to say it. That certification used to be for something that was, worthwhile, that you got a certificate because you earned it, you did something special. That clearly is not the case here if the barrier to entry is so low. And I do know that the pushback, as they detail here, is to say that it is still a long and arduous process. But again, why the fuck does that matter? And I know the Conservatives are just trying to buy votes from people that will never support them anyway. So, what the fuck are you doing? But yes, that really is all there is to it. Oh, it's a long and arduous process. Okay, cool. How's about you don't do it? So, oh right, but then the government will see me as something that I don't see myself as. So, yeah, join the club. I don't agree with all the laws in the UK. Therefore, I do not agree with how the government sees me. Do I get to pay £5 in order to be seen as I want? No, I don't. So how's about, if it's important to you because it's a personal thing, then you go deal with that, and you can deal with that quietly, and then what matters more, a certificate, or having people that you know and care about identify you for how you want to be identified. This isn't just gender anymore. This is reputation. Would you rather have a certificate saying that you've done something, or would you rather have the people of whose opinions you value actually tell you those things? Yeah. Would you rather have a degree from a university telling you that you've earned the degree, you've put in the effort, you've done well, you've achieved whatever you have, maybe it's even a first, congratulations? Or would you rather forego that certificate, which cost a hell of a lot more than £5, but that's a different issue entirely? Would you instead rather have a professional relationship with people who acknowledge and respect that you're somebody who can get the work done in your chosen field, and they know that you're a hard worker? Well, obviously, you would prefer the respect from your peers. And so the same goes here. So, when it comes down to, having an identification of the gender that they wish, what's the issue? Okay, medical records. Okay, cool medical records. So, surely you don't want it changed on those, though. Because when we're talking about things like ovarian cancer or testicular cancer, what actually matters is how you were born in your chromosomes. Okay, cool, right. So it's not that. Right, in which case it's more social. In which case, again, refer back to point 1 about saying that it simply depends and is particularly pertinent to how your peers view you. And that is what matters. And now, let's get down to the bigger point. Why not? Why not? You're an individual. You are always an individual. You always have been, and you always will be, no matter what you do. Sure, you will have relationships with people. You'll work with people. You'll have a romantic relationship with people. Lovely, congratulations. Well done, you. Aren't you fantastic? But you're still an individual. That the only guarantee for anyone that you'll be with in your life is you. Hopefully, you'll be with more people than just yourself. But the only person you can guarantee that you'll be with is you. It's like what Alan Watts says, that the worst thing about travelling is that you have to take yourself with you. That is true, because again, the person that you have to be with your entire life is you. The only person you really have to please is you. And that means that this whole thing of having a certificate is entirely a moot point. Oh, maybe it's about saying, well, what about gender discrimination laws, or society, rather, that they view somebody as someone instead of somebody else. It's okay, cool. In which case, a certificate isn't going to change anything, but, okay, cool, let's pretend it does. Is the focus really on saying that you wish to be favoured differently because you're different sex, in which case it's just political and not actually your true calling in life? Or should it be based on saying everybody's an individual and, hey, we advise that you take a particular course of action, but if you do not wish to, then of course that is down to you as an individual. So of course the government should not be involved in this. Right. If the government wishes to get involved, is it not better to say, cool, perhaps counselling and therapy is the better option? Perhaps you can find a way to learn to live with how you were born, for your flaws and strengths, your weaknesses and strengths, your pros and cons. You can find a way to work with those and make them work for the best of your ability. You'll have natural strengths in some things and natural weaknesses in other. In which case, focus your attention on the things that you're good at and that you enjoy, and just maybe you'll find more meaning in life through that way. And perhaps along the route, don't sterilize yourself. But apparently I'm intolerant for suggesting that. So I'm going to leave with this as a question, in terms of what you think the main motives are behind this. Is it Conservatives trying to buy votes? Is it virtue signalling of wanting acknowledgement? Or is it the political leanings of trying to get particular favourability based on the gender that they have on their ID? I am intrigued to know what you guys have to say about it. And as you know, I am leaning very heavily towards virtue signalling, because Conservatives are fucked, and let's be real, they don't really buy into the shit that they say about patriarchy and all that crap. So yeah, virtue signalling. They want to be able to pay a fiver to say, oh, aren't I so progressive? Now I'm a different gender. But let me know what you guys think down below. Always intrigued to hear what you guys have to say. And of course, as always, until next time, have a good one.